Good morning, students. Welcome to the digital classroom with Holy Heart Schools. Today we are going to start with our chapter, The Structure of the Earth. In this chapter, we will be learning about the realms of the earth, about the interior of the earth, and about the various layers of the earth. While going through above topics, we will be learning some new words like number 1, lithosphere, the solid outer crust of the earth. Number 2, hydrosphere, the watery stretch of the earth. Number 3, atmosphere, envelope of air surrounding the earth. Number 4, biosphere, the narrow zone of the contact between land, water and air where all forms of life exist. Number 5, density, the mass of the substance per unit volume. Number 6, pressure, the physical force exerted on an object. Number 7, earthquake waves and seismic waves, the waves produced from the focus of the earthquake during earthquake activity. Number 8, P waves or primary waves, the seismic waves that are first to reach the crust from the focus. Next we have S or secondary waves, the seismic waves that reach the earth's surface after the primary waves. And at last we have L waves, long waves, or they are also known as surface waves, the seismic waves that are produced from the epicenter and travel along the earth's surface. So now students, please open up your chapter number 4, page number 32. But before we start with the reading of our chapter, let's have a brief about today's topic. Earth is also known as the home of humankind. It is the only planet in a solar system which is known to have life, and this is due to the presence of land, air and water. The solid part of the earth is known as lithosphere. It contains soil. Soil contains all the important nutrients needed for the plant's life and plant supports animal and human life. After that we have water. Water is a unique factor that supports origin, growth and development of various life forms on the earth. The part of the earth covered with water is known as hydrosphere. And at last we have atmosphere. The envelope of gases surrounding the earth's surface is known as atmosphere. It consists of many life-supporting gases like oxygen, argon, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and helium. The most important one is oxygen, which is needed for breathing by all the living organisms, and carbon dioxide and nitrogen are needed by plants. And at last we have biosphere. Bio means life, and this zone supports life on earth with land, water and air. All these realms together help in supporting the life on the earth. So now students, let's start with our reading of the topic. Earth is the only planet in the solar system where life exists. The existence of life on the earth is possible due to the three realms: the land, water and air. Earth. The lithosphere is the solid realm. Realm means area or region called lithosphere. The lithosphere is the outer solid layer of the earth. The Greek word litho means rock. The water bodies are liquid realm called hydrosphere. Hydro means water, sphere means part. The part of the earth covered with water is known as hydrosphere. The air around the earth is a gaseous realm called atmosphere. Atmo means air. The blanket of air surrounding the earth's surface is known as atmosphere. The narrow zone of contact between land, water and air where all forms of life exist is called biosphere. Bio means life. So the part of the earth where life exists is known as biosphere. Now next we are starting up with the topic interior of the earth. Man's knowledge about the earth's interior is very limited. The knowledge about the interior of the earth is obtained through direct sources and indirect sources. Direct sources include rock material from mining areas and molten magma from the volcanic eruptions. The deepest mine of the world is Robinson Deep in South Africa, from which the gold is mined. This mine is just 8 kilometers deep, whereas the radius of the earth is 6,378 kilometers. So we can't rely on direct sources to get information about the earth's interior. Thus, we have to depend on indirect sources for information, such as temperature inside the earth, pressure inside the earth, density of different layers of the earth, and behavior of earthquake waves. So now let's read interior of the earth. Our knowledge about the structure and interior of the earth from the direct observations is very limited. Direct observations include volcanic eruptions, rocks taken out from the mining, the deepest man-made hole in the earth. A drill hole is only about 8 km deep. As I have already told you, its name is Robinson Deep in South Africa. This is quite insignificant when compared to the mean radius of the earth, which is 6,378 km. There is a huge difference between the two. Thus, we have to depend upon indirect sources of information such as temperature inside the earth, pressure inside the earth, density of different layers of the earth, and behavior of the earthquake waves. So now let's start with the temperature first. As we all know that volcanoes or hot springs that comes out from the earth's interior are extremely hot. They make us believe that temperature inside the earth is very high. According to the Big Bang theory, the earth was a part of the sun, and it is at the optimum distance from the sun, due to which the outer crust is cooled down, but it is yet hot from the interior. Second main reason is due to the radioactive elements like uranium, as they release huge amount of energy, making the earth's interior extremely hot. Earth's temperature is not uniform from the surface towards the center. In the beginning, it increases at an average rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 32 meter increase in depth. So let's read temperature inside the earth. Hot springs and volcanic eruptions. Hot springs are the springs of naturally hot water, and volcanic eruption means coming out of hot molten lava through a wind. Provide evidence. Evidence means proof of very high temperature inside the earth. It is a known fact that as we go down from the surface of the earth to the interior of the earth, the temperature increases at an average rate of about 1 degree Celsius of every 32 meter of descent. This is opposite to lapse rate. At this rate, the temperature near the center of the earth would be very high. The rocks are the hard materials of the earth, and the minerals. Minerals are the naturally occurring substances found under the earth crust, cannot remain solid at such a high temperature, because with such a high temperature the rocks and minerals present inside the earth's surface melts. Now in the list of indirect sources of information, we have pressure and density. The pressure also increases from the surface towards the center of the earth due to the huge weight of overlying rocks, and due to this the material present in the inner layer of the earth remains in a semi-solid state. Due to the increase in pressure and the presence of heavier material like iron and nickel towards the earth's center, the density of the earth's layer also goes on increasing. So let's read pressure inside the earth. Pressure means force exerted by an object. The interior of the earth is under the tremendous pressure, means in a very great amount from the outer layers. It does not permit the rocks in the interior of the earth to reach the liquid state. The areas around the center of the earth has probably might acquire the properties of solid due to enormous pressure from the outside layers. For example, sedimentary or igneous rocks, when undergo excessive heat and pressure, they become more harder. Next, we have the density of different layers of the earth. Density means the mass of substance per unit volume. The earth is not composed of a uniform material. Uniform means same material or same type of material. The materials of the inner layers are heavier than that of the outer layers. The density of rocks increases slowly towards the center because areas around the center has heavy metals like nickel and iron, and we know that to take out iron and nickel we have to dig deep mines. Thus, the earth has a layered structure with varying density of materials. The next important source of information about the earth's interior is the behavior of the earthquake waves. Before we study the behavior of earthquake waves, let's know what is earthquake. Any sudden disturbance below the earth's surface due to tectonic forces may produce vibrations. These vibrations can cause an earthquake. The enormous energy released by the earthquake travels through a ground in the form of waves. These seismic waves are classified into three types. Number 1, primary wave or push waves. These are the fastest and travel at the speed of about 6 km per second. These waves are first to arrive. They can pass through liquid and gas. These waves cause small displacement by pushing and pulling the rocks. Next, we have secondary waves or shake waves. They are the next to arrive after the primary waves. Their rate of movement is less than that of the primary waves, and these waves move at an angle of 90 degrees to the primary waves. They cannot pass through liquid. Last, we have long waves or surface waves. As the name suggests, these waves travel over the surface of the earth and cause maximum destruction. These are the last to arrive. They can travel much longer distance than primary and secondary waves, and their effects cannot be seen at the great depths. So now students, let's read this topic. Behavior of earthquake waves. The study of the behavior of earthquake waves. Earthquake waves are the waves generated by the earthquake, provide accurate information about the earth's structure. The graphic recording of the earthquake waves by a seismograph. Seismograph is an instrument used to record the earthquake waves. Shows that there are three types of earthquake waves. These are the longitudinal or primary waves, the transverse or the secondary waves, and the surface or the long waves. The P and S waves can penetrate, means to go deep into the earth, and L waves travel along its circumference because they are surface waves. The study of the seismogram reveals that the velocities of P and S waves increases with the depth up to about 2900 km below the surface of the earth. Velocities means the speed of something in a given direction. The S wave do not pass beyond this layer. Actually, the S wave cannot pass through liquid, that I have already told. It was concluded that the earth behaves like a solid up to the depth of 2900 km from the surface. The inner part of the earth, with a radius of about 3478 km, has the property of liquid. So now students, this was our topic for the day. Please revise your topic and do the related exercises. Thank you.